everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed their week. We're here with another episode from Motive2Change, episode 3 to be exact.
Can you believe it?
We're moving along pretty fast here at Motive2Change. We got Josh.
Carine.
And this is Matthew. How are you doing?
And as I said, we're back with another episode.
Right.
I hope everybody enjoyed that theme song. That was from Night Owl Beats. He named it Breaking Bottles. That is just a little segment of about a 3-minute song. I'll put the link to it in the description. And it's a free download. You can use that for whatever you want. And yeah, Night Owl Beats is a great guy. I've used a few of his beats on my YouTube channel, Composition Fever. And yeah, he's a really great guy. Okay.
All right.
So today we're going to be talking about future aspirations. Now, aspirations is a really big word for what do you want to be when you grow up.
I don't personally like the word.
Yes, she spoke about that a few times. You know, Josh, I really don't like that word. Stop using it. But I'm going to use it anyway. So future aspirations, basically, what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay?
Uh-huh.
So we're going to start with kind of when we were younger, when you were around 4, 5, 6 years old. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Who's starting?
We'll start with the ladies.
Oh, jeez, I knew that was going to happen. Well, I always wanted to be an astronaut, especially at that age. Yeah. Yep.
Why?
Well, can you imagine floating in space? Like, that would be actually really epic.
I am quite okay with my feet being firmly on the ground.
I think it'd be cool to just float around and not have to worry about bugs crawling on your legs because they can't get to your legs. Get
Okay.
it? Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Well, it changed from year to year, like I'm sure it does for most people. I remember many things I wanted to be. I wanted to be a teacher at one point. I wanted to be a firefighter at one point. I think there was one time when I even wanted to be the kid in the Captain Crunch commercial because, hey, Captain Crunch for free, basically.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I dreamt big, let's put it that way. But, the one thing that has really been a constant in my life is all the things that I really wanted to have interest in. All the things I had interest in had to do with, like, the arts and entertainment factions of sorts. I mean, like, I was always the kid who, instead of asking for toys for Christmas, he would always ask for a big box of 64 crayons, the Crayola crayons, and a ream of lined paper, and that's all I really cared about doing was, like, drawing, writing, things like that.
Wait a minute, you drew on lined paper?
Well, lined paper was a lot cheaper than, like, the artistic paper back then, and,
yeah.
I mean, I grew up in kind of, like, I wouldn't say we were, like, poor, but we were kind of, like...
A lower middle class type thing?
Exactly, yeah. And money was a little bit tight, and we wanted to try and save a little bit.
Good.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Well, as for me, I'm not sure about everybody else in the audience, but I wanted to be a star. Just kidding.
Like, in the sky?
Well, a lot of the stars in the sky are dead, actually, so... No. No. I wanted to be, kind of what any other guy wants to be when he's 5 or 6 years old. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. I wanted to fight crime. I wanted to be a firefighter, policeman. Not necessarily a doctor, but maybe the guy who drove the ambulance. I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know me as somebody who saved somebody's life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I still kind of want to be that, but we'll get into that later. What about now? What do you want to be now, Carine?
Well, I still want to be an astronaut because I think it'd be really cool to wear a fishbowl on my head. But no, I'm just joking. But even for when I was little, I've always wanted to be a vet. And that recently, well, not recently, I guess almost 4 years, changed when I hit grade 12 because I had to dissect a mouse and, well, let's just say I could not do it. So that kind of went out of the picture.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know Carine in real life, she has pretty much a zoo at her house. So being a vet would actually make sense until you have to deal with the death.
Like, I always thought to myself, like, if I was put into the situation where I had to put a cat down or something, I just think, well, you know what, they wouldn't be suffering anymore. But then I just thought, oh my, if I have to do any operations or anything, I have to cut that cat open. Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, Matt?
right. Oh, sorry. Okay, go.
Oh, sorry, Corinne, I didn't know you were done.
Well, I mean, just before I go into my little spiel, I can just say that I can totally understand what Corinne was saying, because one of the reasons why I never pursued a career in medicine is because I have a very low tolerance for blood. And my tolerance is so low for blood that I can't even take a first aid class because of the fact that there might be blood. And I would probably likely need medical assistance myself.
Okay.
So that's like my little addition to Carine's thing, I guess I should say. But anyway, going back to what I want to be what I want to be now, I guess part of the reason why I started up my blog, Pop Culture Addict's Guide to Life, if you're interested, always have to plug it in. But one of the reasons why I started it was I had just turned 30 and I wanted to do something that I could be proud of and do something that people could look at 3, 4, 5 years down the line. And I think I've done that successfully because I've kept it going for almost 3 years now. But I also want to try and make writing a full-time career choice too. And particularly in the area where we're from, there's not really a whole lot of opportunities to become a writer. So I'm looking for the more, not so much creative, but more of a way to make that happen in non-traditional senses, even if I have to go self-publishing route.
Okay.
But writing has always been something that I've been interested in, and I hope to really make it a full-time career one day.
Good.
If I could just continue, because I never really got to say what I want to do.
Dang it,
Oh, we're
Corinne.
sorry.
No, that's okay. I just don't want to forget my thoughts, because that happens
Okay.
a lot. But well, for those of you who listened to episode 1, I am currently in the Child and Youth Worker program, and that is what I want to do. I want to help children. I just want to make a difference in the world. A lot like the vet thing, but with actual human beings and not animals. But I want to be there. I want to be a support. I want to help. I just want to be there for someone who needs it, for someone who doesn't have anybody. So my current child and youth worker program is working out for me, and I'm following my dreams. Yeah.
Excellent.
Very good.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah.
When it comes to me, it kind of changed all through high school. When I went into high school, I wanted to do anything that had to do with computers. I was really into technology and all that stuff. Now it's just kind of become a hobby for me to learn about them and transfer the technology and everything like that onto my peers and teach them how it works.
You certainly help me a lot in electronics.
And then I moved on to like grade 11, 12-ish, where I wanted to become a teacher. More precisely, a music teacher. I was very involved in music. I think I said that in episode 1 as well. I was very involved in music all through high school, and I kind of fell in love with the subject, so to speak. And I wanted to do that for the rest of my life and also teach people. But then I got into college. I kind of thought about it. Music teachers don't really have that much of a place in the schools anymore. Full-time anyway. So I kind of moved on to just being a normal elementary school teacher. And that was kind of what I had my heart set on. I thought that I would start out with the Child and Youth Worker program, kind of move on through that. But then I had a placement in a school, and I didn't really like the way it worked out. Well, I don't really want to say that. It worked out well. It's just I didn't like the teacher's philosophy on how they taught and how they treated the children. It's not like they were treating them bad or anything, but it's not feeling orientated as opposed to academic.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm kind of at a standstill. I don't know really what I want to do. I do have a whole bunch of hopes. Like, my dream job is to be the conductor of the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. But that's going to take a long time to happen, if it does at all. And I do want to go to school more, maybe pursue a doctorate in psychology. And I was thinking about one of the songs that I wrote. Anyways, I could pursue music therapy. At this point, it's really up in the air. But I do know for a fact that I do want to continue my music that I'm doing as a hobby on Composition Fever's YouTube channel. I do want to continue that as a hobby for the rest of my life. So, yeah. And bring about change through my music. That's one of my big focuses, to bring change in the world. So.
And just to give you a little plug-in, definitely check out his YouTube channel, because he's posted some of his compositions on there, and they're really, really good.
He's really talented.
Yes.
Okay, guys, stop. Thank you.
Why are we making it red?
Yeah, you can't see it, but I go red when I'm embarrassed. Okay. So we're going to kind of move on to another topic that we wanted to talk about. And that is, we're asking our youth and our children to have their lives figured out by the time they enter, pretty much grade 11 or maybe in grade 9 now. Is that too early? Or is it too late? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think personally, yeah, that they're expecting kind of like youth in grade 11, grade 12 to technically have a plan for their entire future. And I don't know, I think, like, for me, in grade 12, I didn't know what I wanted to do, considering, I wanted to be a vet, and then that didn't work, and then all of a sudden I had this short period of time to figure out, oh my God, I have to decide my future in the next couple months. Like, yikes. But then I decided, you know what, I'll take an extra year of school just to give myself different choices. But I figure, like, I had that extra year, and that actually helped me a lot. So
do you think it's too early or too late for people to enter grade 11 and expect them to know what they want to do?
Well, I think they need more time, for sure. Yeah, for a lot more time. Or even just a year, for me anyway.
Yeah. So you think maybe by the end of grade 13?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Matt?
I definitely agree with that statement that it is too early. I mean, just to put things into perspective, because I know that we may have some viewers outside of Ontario that are listening to this, but until recently in Ontario, we had such a thing as an OAC year, which is the same as pretty much an extra year of high school. And by the time I graduated high school, I had just turned 19. And I thought I knew what I wanted to do back then. I thought I wanted to go into journalism, but it turned out that while I did enjoy it, it wasn't really for me. And in fact, a lot of things that my high school suggested would help me out, it turned out that it wasn't really the best fit for me, because I went to a very, I guess you could say, academic school where they pretty much said that you should go to university, and if you go to university, then you'll have a better chance of getting a job or whatever. But I didn't really like the structure of university. I think I would have been a better fit for a community college, because a community college is more hands-on learning as opposed to just sitting in a lecture hall. And I tend to learn a lot better when I actually get the opportunity to do things rather than just watch somebody do it for me. Mm-hmm. If you get my drift, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I certainly didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 16, so.
So what do you think? Too early, too late for grade 11?
Too early.
Definitely too early.
Yeah. I would agree with that, too. I feel like we put a lot of ownership and independence on people at a way too early of an age. I mean, like, you could go outside and you can play when you're 12. Okay, you can stay out till the street lights are just about to turn on. You can do that when you're 12. Okay? Mm-hmm. By the age of 12, you're like in grade 8, you're about to graduate. Public school, anyway. I think it's way too early. Because then when you move into grade 10 and grade 11, they expect you to start picking your courses for your future career that you're hoping to get. If you don't know what career you want, or even what careers are out there, How can you pick what courses you want to take?
Yeah, did any of you ever take like those scholastic aptitude tests in school where they basically told you what career you should be going for?
Yeah, we took something called career cruising.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yes, something along those lines, yes.
I think that's a great idea.
It is, in theory, yes.
In theory, that's for sure. But I don't think that there should be a program telling you what you should do.
Well, no.
I think there should be a program telling you what you can do. And what is available to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways,
I do too.
So, kind of what age do you think is best then?
Well, like I said, for me it was 17. That's when I graduated. Actually, no, it would have been 18 for my extra year of high school. And I went to college at 18 years old. So I think I kind of had an idea by then. So that might be, I think that'd be the age I'd say. Maybe 18, 19 for people. Or even
I would
20.
agree with that. Yeah, because like I'm 21 now. I still don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 33 next month, and I know people my age that still don't know what they want to do.
And that's completely okay.
Exactly.
As long as you're not just sitting at home being a bum. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, if you're actively seeking what you want to do and you're looking for upgrading courses or you have a full-time job or even a part-time job, as long as you're just not doing anything with your life, that's fine. Yeah. Unless you want to do nothing with the rest of your life.
Based on a personal level, I'm looking at trying to get back into school at some point. I still need the money to actually get to go, but I am researching options as well because I definitely want to go back to school at some point. Yeah,
well, it's definitely very expensive to do school in any form, even community college. So
it is.
So that kind of brings us to our next point: is 17 or 18 too early for college and university? Because think about the jump between high school and college. Okay, this is specifically for Carine and I because we're actually in the college right now and we're pretty much at that age.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we had... Oh, you went to college, didn't you?
Yeah, I did go to college. I mean, I was 19 when I started university.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all has to do with, just based on my experience, it all really has to do with the maturity levels because I've actually, when I was in university, I've actually seen 18-year-olds have more maturity than somebody who was like a grad student or something like that.
Yeah, maturity
so
definitely
plays a role.
plays a
play a little bit of a factor.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even more than a little bit, but...
Yeah, exactly.
The jump from high school to college really kind of woke me up. In high school, you're kind of babied through it, I think. Mm-hmm. And currently, you're not allowed to fail. They do everything in their power to give you the opportunity not to fail, even though you've already been given the opportunity all throughout high school not to fail. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah. We're really not a big fan of that. But
yeah.
I guess in my opinion, it's enabling the kids to kind of flow through life and not really give a crap.
Completely agree with you on that.
It's almost like they have to create, like, for grade 12, or even have just a grade 13 or something, just to do that transition part. Like, grade 13 be more, like, your own, like, learning, kind of, not as rough as college, but not as easy as high school. Like, I don't know, I think that'd be kind of...
I wouldn't say that high school is easy, it's just...
No, but I mean, it's pretty much like you said, you know, that they give it to you, like...
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I would agree with that. But I feel that college, you know, you really hit a wall. You're just like, my ways that I was doing it in high school is not going to work here. I got to buck up, I got to do the work.
I shouldn't really admit to this, but when I was in, like, at high school, I used to always be, like, a procrastinator and do, like, my essays the last minute, like, maybe, like, the last few hours before my class started, and I'd still end up getting a pretty good mark. But once I got off to university, I found that you could not do that.
I think that some people can do it. But,
some people can.
But really, they say that you should expect your average from high school to go down 10% when you hit college. And I think it's 15 to 20% if you hit university.
Yeah, mine definitely did that for sure.
And
mine's not doing that.
No, I find that mine went up.
Yeah, mine too.
But I really kind of met the challenge and met the wall of, my ways from high school isn't going to work. Not that I was a slacker in high school. It was just, I knew that I needed to step my game up.
Well, for me, I went to elementary school and high school all in French. Like the only course that we had in English was the English course. So, and I find I communicate better a little bit in English than I do in French, like better. So I hit college and all of a sudden my grade went like, woo, all the way up. Cause I'm like, yay, I can communicate. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the yay, I can communicate, Robert.
I kind of find it funny because we have a communications course and it's completely in English. Yay, I can communicate. Anyways.
Not even a word of French.
So yeah, I think overall, maybe 17, 18 is a little bit too early for college and university, but I wouldn't raise the age that much.
No, even an extra year, like...
Yeah, maybe 18, 19, depending on your maturity, of course, and if you have your life together and if you have the money and everything like that. That all plays a factor.
But, like, birthdays, too. Like, I graduated at grade 12 at 17. So, like, because my birthday's later on. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of... We're saying that, is it too young to like choose your career, but it really all depends on your birthday too.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was saying 18, 19 seemed okay for me, just because that was my extra year. But for you guys, I guess it'd be 19 and 20.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some people I knew actually held off on college and university for a year or two so they could actually get a job experience, because a lot of the times, in order to get like work study programs or anything like that, you kind of need to have that job experience to show that you can balance your grades with your schoolwork and your job with everything else. So I think it's a good experience to get a little bit of work experience before you go off to university as well.
Not only that, but having your own money really shows independence.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that makes your maturity, for lack of better words, mature faster than maybe not having a job. And not doing anything productive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we kind of want to ask the viewers a question now. Feel free to leave a comment right below. And that question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? This could either be when you were 4 or 5, or what you want to be now. Just feel free to leave it in the comment section. And we're not going to be judgmental, so say whatever you want to be. Okay? The last thing we want to touch on before we move on to the fun fact and the quote of the day is, is it bad not to know what you want to be when you grow up? At any point in your life?
No.
Not at all.
Can you guys explain that?
Well, you can't just, you can't expect to know exactly what you want to do as soon as you graduate, because that's kind of a lot of pressure putting on your plate. Like, if I were to tell myself I wanted to be a vet, and then all of a sudden I'm in that career, but I don't like it anymore, then you have to fall back and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like, what you want to be now, you really don't have to stick to that. Right?
Because it can change at any time.
Yeah, when I entered grade 9, I wanted to be anything to do with the computers. I could care less about computers now, more than a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it changes as long as you're moving forward in a way that you want to.
Yeah. And there's so many choices out there that it's hard. Okay, sorry, Matt.
I think I read somewhere that for people in like my generation, because I'm at least 10 years older than you guys are, for people in my generation, it's not that uncommon to have like 2 or 3 different jobs by the time you hit my age, which is 33 almost. It's not that uncommon at all, whereas maybe 30 years ago, a lot of people stayed in the same job for 10, 20, 30 years on end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely becoming more common to move around jobs and kind of upgrade yourself as much as you possibly can before retirement.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people want to get more fulfillment out of that than staying in a job for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
Getting a job right out of college or right out of high school even, staying there for your entire life, not moving. And some people are okay with that. Right? And that's completely fine. It's just some people want to move on, upgrade themselves, get the big fancy jobs, you know, CEOs and all that stuff. The big CEO of Apple, everything like that.
That would be epic.
That would be epic.
Next Donald Trump.
And that's going to be me. So you can step out of line. Anyways.
And you have better hair. And you have better hair than Donald Trump, too. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I will win, Josh. I could beat you for CEO of Apple. I could do it.
All right. Well. Oh, I forgot to mention when we asked you guys what you want to be when you grow up. If you do comment in the comment section below, I can actually show your comments in the next episode. If you guys
We'll give you guys a shout out.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out, your YouTube channel. Even though we're not that large right now, eventually we will be. So, well, hopefully. Yeah, so we're going to move on to the fun fact with Matt.
Woohoo!
All right. And as it turns out, this fun fact is related to the whole idea of aspirations.
Yay, the big fancy word.
I don't like it.
Because this story... anyway, this story has to do with a... we'll start with the fact that when she was younger... This is a famous person, by the way. When she was younger, she had a little bit of trouble with school. Like, she was actually undiagnosed for years as having dyslexia. And everybody knows that dyslexia is like a learning disability that allows you to see things on a paper that most other people won't. Like, it jumbles letters, it turns them upside down, it does everything like that. And she eventually grew up to host her own variety show. She had several number ones, the latest of which was when she turned 56 years old. And she even won an Academy Award. And the person that I am talking about is Cher.
Cher?
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I was not expecting that.
I actually
No, me neither.
Actually, this was a few years back when I was in school. When I did my homework, I tended to listen to the radio a lot. And one of the radio commercials that pops on, it was actually Cher talking about her struggles with dyslexia, and she talked about how that it was really hard for her to concentrate in school when she couldn't see what was inside the book. So I think she was promoting some sort of like technique for learning disabilities or something along those lines. I can't remember what exactly the radio ad was saying, but I just find that really interesting how somebody who had such a learning disability grew up to accomplish such great things with their career. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm just thinking, like, just based on all that she's accomplished, it just goes to show anybody that it doesn't really matter what limitations you have. Anybody can aspire to become a success, and certainly Cher did that with her career.
Well said, Matt. Well said.
I would definitely say that she is successful in her career, despite...
She is
who knows?
Like, strong. She
could be a big icon for many youth and even adults out there too, for the exact reason that Matt just mentioned.
All right. What about the quote of the day from Carine?
You gonna give me a drum roll?
We can.
Okay. All right.
Take it back.
That was a little long, but
You
all right.
to stop.
That's okay. Okay, so for the quote of the day, I decided to choose a quote about future aspirations.
Very nice.
There's that word.
Yeah, I could actually say it this time.
It's a buzzword.
Anyway, so all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. This is by the famous Walt Disney. And
Ooh.
I really liked it because a lot of people, especially youth, have at least watched one Walt Disney movie in their lifetime. And
they are pretty common.
Well, yes.
And we spoke about one in
amazing.
episode 1.
Oh, yeah. Frozen.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that a lot of youth and children especially can relate to Walt Disney in his style of movies and kind of the message that he portrays in them.
Yeah.
And especially in the quote.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think that's
It's
a
great
wrap for
approach.
today, unless anybody else has anything to say.
Just follow your dreams. Don't give
And
up.
don't be afraid.
No.
No. Don't be afraid, for sure. All right, so that wraps up the third episode of Motive2Change.
All right.
Feel free to comment, rate the video, and subscribe to our channel. We're
And
also on
like.
Twitter. And all of our links are on the screen right now, so feel free to look at them. They're also down in the description. We hope that you have another great week. By the way, every Sunday we're going to release a new episode. Okay, we've decided, we've kind of freed up a little bit of time in our schedule. So every Sunday, we haven't decided on a time because last time it took me forever to upload it. But Sunday at some point, hopefully before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, we will have the new episode out for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So hopefully that's okay with everybody.
And episode 4 actually comes out on Easter Sunday too, so maybe we'll have some theme related to that, possibly.
We'll think about that for episode 4.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, if you guys have any themes that you guys want us to go over or anything that you want us to talk about, feel free to put it in the comment section. We have one pretty active commenter, and that's good. Hopefully we'll get some more, but for now, that's Motive2Change, and we're out.
Thanks. I'm waving. Goodbye.
See you later, guys. Have a great one.
Peace out.